What's good, Uganda? It's your boy OSHAY Duke Jackson, and today we want to talk about some tips when traveling to Uganda or to Kenya. And I was just in Kenya. I did a video with African Tigress. I met up with African Traveler. I was there for like 4 days, but there's some things that you're gonna need to know if you're gonna be in Kenya. All right, and it's very, interesting right now because I actually got stuck in Kenya for an additional day, and I had to pay another $288 to go from Uganda to Kenya because my coronavirus test didn't come in on time. So let me just talk about some of the differences and similarities. So, if you're coming from America or Europe to Uganda, you're gonna need to have, if you can order these ahead of time, this kind of power outlet. I don't really know what it's called, but you see it here. And these are the outlets that you could pick up when you first get into the city, or we'll put it on the screen what kind of outlet that it is. It definitely will help you, if you have that before you come. It works in both Uganda and Kenya. It will make your transition when you get here, you get to the continent, you can be rolling. Now, for both the Uganda and Kenya, you do need to have a passport, obviously. But Uganda is different in that you need yellow fever vaccination. Okay, you need to have that because they have, more with of yellow fever. You do not need yellow fever going to Kenya. But let's say, for example, you go to Kenya and you want to go to Uganda, can't get into Uganda without yellow fever. All right, that's very necessary. Now, let's talk about coronavirus examinations. 72 hours is what they give you from a negative result to get into Uganda. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you take a coronavirus test in the United States and it's a 24-hour turnaround, all right, you need to be on that flight right away. Okay, as soon as possible. So maybe you might not book your ticket until you get your results back. That's what I would recommend, because you don't want to book your ticket and then you're positive. So get your paper that shows that you have clearance. Then if you can, book your ticket that day, because they only give you 72 hours. And it's going to take you, if you come from the States, maybe 16, 17 hours to travel. And if you don't have it, it's going to be a very bad experience. Okay. They will also have you fill out, in both Uganda and Kenya, passenger locator forms. You will fill that out in Kenya, Rwanda. You will fill that out in Uganda. They'll ask you about, if you've been to any different countries that have, a lot of cases, Ebola virus, stuff like that. You'll fill that out. All right. Now, Kenya, you have 96 hours. Okay. So if you're coming to Kenya, you have a little bit more time. That test can be negative for up to 96 hours. So you have a little bit more time to plan, to book a trip. Okay. Now, I want to talk about, I stayed here at the Cozy Residences at TRIANUM. I stayed in, I think it's Kilauea. It was very, very nice. I want to give a shout out to Brian for hosting me. We'll put the Airbnb link there. I spent about $120 a night, which is, sort of expensive, but it's very elite. 4 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. I stayed there. I had a really, really good time. It's very secure. It's one of the best parts of town. I stayed there. If you're coming to Uganda, there's many good places. There's Leone Apartments. There's other places you can find Airbnb, stuff like that. All right. But I want to talk about, if you travel to Uganda or Kenya, there's going to be some similarities as far as getting around. Okay. Number one, Uganda and Kenya both have Uber. Okay. Both have Uber. Uganda has Uber that offers the Boda, which is the motorcycle tour. Uganda also has the Uber X and package delivery. Kenya offers Boda, but you don't really need to use Boda a lot in Kenya because Nairobi is way more developed as far as the road infrastructure. Okay. And they also have something that you see here called Chop Chop. Now, Chop Chop is a smaller car that Uganda doesn't have. Okay. So you're able to use the Chop Chop. It's typically cheaper, about $1 cheaper every trip. And like I said, there's not as bad as traffic. In Uganda, if you're getting around, typically you need to use bodas if it's a daily thing. All right. I also want to talk about Jumia. Jumia is an app that you can order food, services. You can do it in Uganda and in Kenya. It will definitely help you. Now, the curfews, I'll talk about that. Curfew in, as far as ordering food or getting around, Jumia in Kenya and Jumia in Uganda are typically the same, except Jumia in Kenya has different brands. There's Cold Stone Creamery, there's Burger King, they have things like that. They have more of a variety because Nairobi is a more rich city. Whereas Uganda, they have KFC and Pizza Hut, stuff like that. But the curfew I want to talk about is different in both countries. Uganda, the curfew starts at 9 p.m. It ends at 6:30 a.m. Kenya, the curfew is 11 p.m., ends at 4 a.m. Now let's talk about when you fly into either country. You fly into Uganda, you do everything you need to do, you give your yellow fever and all that stuff. There are going to be some, you go into get your baggage, there are some people yelling at you. These are FOREX people, okay? They're going to yell at you to come and exchange your money. I would never exchange a lot of money there. It's the lowest rates. Maybe you exchange $50 or go to the ATM and use it outside. And then I want you to go to the airport taxis, okay? Never use taxis that people are just coming up to you and stuff like that. The airport taxis always have a number. Like last night I took 90, airport taxi number 90, okay? Which means that if you have something lost or something that's stolen or something that is misplaced, you can call the export taxi company, give them the number and say, this is the driver, I left this in the vehicle, okay? You can also, I would recommend, take a picture of the license plate of the driver and note the driver's name and get his number on Uber and anything. So if there's any problem, you can go back and call the airport taxi, and the rates are typically cheaper than Uber, okay? So it's no need to call Uber from the airport taxi into the city. You're gonna get a better deal from them, in my opinion. Now in Kenya, it's a little bit different because it's so close to the city. Again, you're gonna get people yelling at you. But it's not going to be the FOREX people. They're going to be people that are personal drivers. Never take drivers who hang around the airport that are not airport taxi. The airport taxi in Kenya is called Jambo, Jambo. You're going to take them, into the city. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're like new Jambo taxi. They have also numbers, okay? So if you don't have your SIM card set up and stuff like that, it's probably easier to just take them. It is a little bit more expensive, but go ahead and do it. They're pretty good. And then when you get into the city, you can get a new number. You can get Airtel, stuff like that. Let's talk about cell phone providers. Uganda, there is, for cell phone, Airtel, Africell, MTN. Those are the main ones. Kenya, I believe there is Safaricom. There is Airtel. I believe there's Vodafone Kenya. But those are the two, main ones, okay? I'm gonna give you the main ones. So basically, and if you want to send money in Kenya, you can use M-Pesa or Airtel. Uganda, you can use Airtel or MTN to send money, mobile money, all right? So that's also that. Now, as far as, like I said, Jumia, the app will be good in both countries. So you can download that to order food and stuff like that. And let me just make sure that I don't have everything else there. And so, yeah, let's talk about the coronavirus tests, okay? Now, in Uganda, I went to Case Hospital. Now, Case Hospital, let's say if you want to go from Uganda to like Rwanda or Uganda to Kenya. Case Medical Center, for about $85, will give you a coronavirus test within 24 hours. Okay, that's perfect. And the reason why it is less people traveling and there's not as much wealth in Kampala versus Nairobi. Now, I went to Aga Khan, which is a really big hospital that's from Pakistan in Nairobi. It was in Parklands. The test was 48 hours. Because it was 48 hours, I missed my flight. I thought it was going to be 24 hours like in Uganda. So I went there Tuesday, expecting to get my results on Wednesday, flying out Rwanda airline on Thursday. No, I have missed my flight. They did tell me that they were going to email me the results. They lied, okay? So whenever someone says that, don't do that. Go get the results yourself. Go pick it up. I had to go to Aga Khan, go to the pathology department, take a number. It was hell on earth getting my results, okay? If you wait for them to email you, they're not going to do it, okay? So also, the test was about $85, okay? So you get that test and then you go from there. Now, as far as photos in either country, if you go to any mall in Kenya, don't take photos. Uganda, don't take photos. Very, very dangerous. You could get arrested, okay? And also, the traffic is not as bad in Nairobi. It's much more developed, so if you like that thing. And I think that's pretty much everything. Now, also Uber Eats. Uber Eats is not available in Uganda. Uber Eats is available in Kenya. So just like in America, you know, you could use that. But guys, hope you like the place that I stayed at. Here's some of the photos and things like that. I want to give a shout out to African Tigress, African Traveler, for coming by to see me. And let me know what you think, guys. Any questions at teamkinganda@gmail.com. So keep it real. Kinganda forever. We are out.